The author, who had spent much time and effort to propagate the fact that a normal distribution does not exclude the existence of an underlying genetic polymorphism, became aware to his amazement that distributions of elementary cognitive tasks were never distributed normally. Of course, under the prerequisite that each task or each selected item has nearly the same difficulty. It is not without irony, but it almost seems that IQ scores are normalized by psychologists in order to render deeper insights more difficult. In 1978, softening of the communist ideology in East Germany made it possible to test a sample of 124 mathematically highly gifted youth, selected on the same basis as in 1970. The mean IQ of this sample was 135 plus or minus 9, corroborating in such a way the IQ estimates made on the basis of occupations, degree of selection in comparison with other authors. Additionally, it was possible to test another sample of 274 gifted subjects who were enrolled in special forms with extended lessons in Russian language. The distribution of this sample was clearly bimodal, with one modus approximately IQ 112, M1M2, the other approximately IQ 130, M1M1. Encouraged by such empirical facts, in 1982 Weiss published a preliminary sketch of the distribution of test raw scores for the overlapping genotypes M1M1, M1M2 and M2M2, see Figure 4. The crucial question is, what are the evolutionary forces which have stabilized and are still balancing such a frequency of about 5% high IQ individuals and about 27% heterozygous individuals, and hence a general population mean of about the same level in Mongoloids and Caucasoids? In developed societies, high intelligence of a person seems to be of such an advantage that one wonders why the major gene M2 responsible for lower normal intelligence has survived with a frequency of about 0.80. A relatively stable social hierarchy needs a small number of high IQ individuals at the top, a greater number of individuals of average intelligence for the middle positions, and a large number of low IQ individuals to perform modest routine work at the bottom. In modern societies, M1M1 individuals invent machines, M1M2 repair machines, and M2M2 operate machines. Any hierarchical society can only tolerate a very small percentage of high IQ individuals in relatively humble social positions, because such individuals represent always, in view of the limited number of leading positions, a potential threat to the ruling elite. In economically dynamic societies there is always periodic turbulence, and the antagonism between ruling and powerless high IQ individuals, i.e. the struggle for leadership of the majority, is the most potentially destabilizing factor, not the direct challenge to the ruling elite by the low IQ majority itself. All societies have to have a hierarchy with a relatively fixed ratio of leading to non-leading positions.